And so I guess we're live in the Nerd Jungle. Good. So again, as always, I'm Time Walker here, joined by my friend Zone. How are you today?
Hey guys, what's up?
Great. So let's tackle the topic for today. What do you say? Are you ready for some orcs?
1 sec. Okay, never mind. Can you repeat that?
Let's tackle the topic for today. Are you ready
Yeah, sure.
to deal with some orcs?
I'm always ready for orcs. I love orcs.
Oh, I know. That's why I got that image in the background.
Garrosh Hellscream.
True orc. So let's start from the beginning with Warcraft for now. What do you say?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay, Warcraft 1. Bam.
Warcraft 1. Okay. What about it? Would you like to
So
start?
what is your opinion about the orcs in that game?
Well, not exactly as developed as the modern orcs. They were more like used as a force of nature and destruction, I would say.
Indeed, and if you look at the only piece of lore we have from that game, which is the game manual, it really portrays something interesting. You know, the Necrolites and the Warlocks you could have in the first game, those were separate clans in them themselves, you know?
Yeah, but aren't they separate clans today too? I'm pretty sure that
No.
warlocks and such have their own covens.
It's a covenant, but it's no longer exclusive to the Horde, to orcs in general.
Yeah. I know. I agree with that, but they do tend to stick together. You have, for example, even in Orgrimmar, you have a part of Orgrimmar that's explicitly for warlocks.
The Shadowclef zone with the rogues, right?
Yeah. They tend to keep together and outside of you.
Here's what I like funny about what they've changed in World of Warcraft about warlocks. You know, in Warcraft 1 and 2 and I think even 3, warlocks used fell magic to do their things, you know? But in World of Warcraft they changed it now that they use shadow magic. Basically, they're no different than shadow priests at this point. Well,
Yeah, that's actually pretty weird. I'm not sure how that works exactly because I think to this day they refer to Fel like fifth element or something like that.
well, we can look at the whole picture of cosmology in this thing, but it's a numbingly idea.
Yeah, Fel was pretty terribly explained. It was just like an element that the shaman goes for if he's not accepted by the regular element, and therefore he becomes a warlock. Which was always a bit strange, I think.
Yeah, that is true. But now with Shadowlands, they've put it as one of the primordial forces belong alongside arcane, light, void, death, life. You know.
Yeah. Honestly, I wish they left it as something more evil. You know, it made warlocks a bit more interesting to me that way because they were touching something that they shouldn't be touching.
It even helps with the lore of the demon hunters because they're basically sacrificing themselves and their minds to get this power to fight against that thing, you know. But now, if you just make it a force of nature, well, it's not really that special anymore.
It's kind of how to explain this. It kind of makes it less significant in a way because you just use example of demon hunters. It was like a forbidden magic and stuff like that. But if it's a force of nature, why the hell is everyone complaining if they go for it? I'm not sure about that actually.
Yeah, I mean,
If you understand what I mean.
no, I get it. There should be no stigma anymore related to fell magic because screw it, it's a force of nature. What's the difference if we pull on arcane or we pull on fell? You know?
Yeah, exactly. Although fell was always indeed and still is more destructive and harder to control than arcane, I would say.
Indeed, it always was. But in the
So-
beginning, go on.
Yeah. I was just going to say, maybe the stigma could be explained as that, because, like, imagine if a mage screws up when using arcane magic, it's not gonna be as destructive. But if, like, warlock screws up, he's gonna summon a Felguard and kill half of the city.
Yeah, there's an explanation. Taking it from a real life example, you can be like, "Oh, there's a difference between having a pistol and having a tank." One is gonna be more disastrous.
Yeah,
Misuse.
definitely. But in a way, you could say Fel being like that even might be a boon because, well, arcane users in lore tend to be start off kind of weaker, but Fel users start off a bit stronger, so maybe it helps somehow. And also think, weird thought actually. What if a mage can actually also be a warlock?
That would be interesting class mixing with implications.
I mean, like, if they're both using, like, similar magic and stuff like that, what stops a mage from being a warlock as well?
I think this is part or one of the problems with how classes are represented in lore. Because look at Hiltgard, for example. The guy was a big, powerful mage before he became a necromancer, and then he became a necromancer and he could only do necromancy. It's like he lost one for the other, which doesn't really make that much sense because these forces are not really sentient in them themselves. So technically, a mage should be able to draw fel magic with arcane, but whoever turns to fel seems to forget how to do that.
Yeah, I agree completely. It does not make sense for him to be like. It's basically like, oh, you switched class and you no longer have access to mage skills.
Yeah, it's a spec change, Oh, bye frost magic.
Exactly. It actually kind of makes sense for some classes because shamans have to focus entirely on elements and they can be rejected by the elements.
Yeah, it makes sense for that one.
If you're like in the example of shamans versus warlocks, if you're like a shaman and you tap into fel, you lose access to elements. But there are other classes that have no such restrictions. Like, why can't a Death Knight learn charge? I mean, I guess he can, but why can't he?
Yeah, especially with physical things, that makes like the least sense. Because when you look at the warrior, or even to some extent some of the monk abilities, any other class should be able to do them.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I actually think that would be a fun idea in the future, like making subclasses. For example, Death Knight with Warrior subclass, and he gains stuff like Blade Storm or Charge or Heroic Leap. I think actually Heroic Leap would even make more sense on Death Knight because they have much more strength overall, so they could easily jump and do wild stuff like that.
yeah, but I don't think they're gonna get heroic leap because the Death Knight would then have, like, I think way too many gap closers.
Yeah. I agree with that. But I was just saying, like, it would be a funny thing to add subclasses, and a lot of MMOs actually already have subclasses.
Yeah, I get it. It would be fun though. I agree.
Okay. Were you going to say something?
Let's circle back a little.
Sure.
Since we had this discussion about fel magic and how basically shamans go to fel because the elements reject them. In the old lore, but I think they've changed that with chronicles that have now also been retconned, whatever. The Horde lost its shamanistic roots and all their powers because Gul'dan came and gave them, the bad juju blood, the demonic magic.
Monster juice.
Yeah, monster juice, the white claw,
Yeah.
They made all the orcs boomers and then here, go have fun.
Yeah, but that's exactly, I think, what we were saying. that you lose access to the elements if you use fel magic, and I think them drinking the monster juice basically counted as them using fel magic.
Oh, it's interesting because the whole race gets corrupted by it. I mean, here's the thing: the corruption is so strong that it can turn the frost wolves. They have not drinking the blood at all. It turns them green. Or this was one of the explanations in the pre-type, you know?
Yeah, actually not sure that much about that part of lore. It's a bit strange, I agree. It didn't just corrupt them, it also gave, like racial skills such as the enrage skill that orcs have. I think that's also a result of the demon blood and even bloodlust and stuff like that.
Which is quite funny because they supposedly kind of got freed from the curse the moment Grom killed McTurden. Back in Warcraft 3.
Yeah, although that also didn't make sense. It's not like you purged yourself of the demon blood. Plus, you're still green.
Yeah, that didn't change.
Honestly, I don't mind them being green. It's kind of cool. Although I do prefer like the allied race.
The Magar, yeah.
Magar. They're so damn cool.
Oh, they are.
I got a Magari warrior, and he's like giant of an orc.
The one made with the set from Blackrock Foundry, or what was it called?
Yeah. Blackrock's suit plate. It's so cool, man. I was actually farming the actual Blackrock set in the Blackrock Foundry, and then I realized the suit plate looks even better.
Oh, by the way, did you get the Garrosh things? The Tusk of Manroth?
Oh, I tried like 100 times and I never got that. Shoulder pads. I'm so mad that I don't have them. Because if you know how Magari heritage armor looks, actually the exact same armor that Garrosh is wearing in the picture.
Yep.
Plus Tusks of Manoroth looks extremely cool. Especially if you have like Gorhau from Karazhan.
Oh yeah, that would be pretty awesome. That's a nice cosplay you got there.
Yeah, it basically can look exactly like Garrosh, except smaller. Because he's freaking huge for some reason.
Yeah, but that's what they've always done with models, with important characters, I mean.
Yeah, you can look like basically Wrath of the Lich King version of Garrosh.
Which is still a good look.
With cooler gear, I guess.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I actually started liking Orcs because Wrath of the Lich King and Warsong Cold.
Oh yeah, that zone is amazing. I always loved it.
Yeah, like just basically making a fortress in Northland and just progressing to the Icecrown Citadel.
Do you remember this Warsong Hold that there was this pig pen, and in it they had like I'm not sure if they had only humans, but they had the lion's characters that were supposedly deserted, and there was this father with his son, and was like, "Look at these cowards! Don't be like them." God, I love that one.
I don't actually remember that, but I do remember that they did have an alliance soldier captured that you have to exchange for an orc with the Alliance Keep. Do you remember that?
No, I forgot about that one.
It's just one tiny quest, but it's kind of funny that they do actually exchange prisoners.
With no killing or anything.
Yeah, because it's weird that Garrosh didn't straight up execute him.
I agree with you on that one.
He definitely would. It's kind of strange, but I guess he wasn't as crazy back then.
How? Now this is an interesting point for me. Like, while with artists you see when he falls, and with other characters the same, Garrosh just happens instantly. You know, it's like you never get to that point. Like,
yeah, like, I mean, sure, kinda instantly, I would say. So what happened was Thrall left him as the leader of the Horde after Wrath of the Lich King because he led the Horde on the assault on Icecrown Citadel and actually did really, really well. Uh, I think Sylvanas, Garrosh, Varian, and Jaina and Tyrion are the ones who took down the Lich King in lore, basically.
Yeah, because Murden
Yeah.
was out and there was still Sourfang that had to bury his child. Yes, so
Sourfang
right.
basically just came to the Icecrown Citadel for his son. So, yeah, 5 of them or so are the ones responsible. So Thrall basically thought Garrosh was worthy of the mantle, and Thrall had to do his green Jesus stuff and go work with the earth and flip ring to mend whatever, what he does. And then Garrosh went a bit power crazy and took over like most of the continent, I think. It went so far that he pushed Alliance out of Ashenvale even.
No, here's an interesting part. I think you skipped this one. You forget that there's an important moment with Garrosh, and that isn't really his fault, is the death of Karen. You know?
Because Karen in the duel.
Yeah, in the duel, because Karen is the one that challenges Garrosh for the position, because he didn't think Garrosh able to do that, and Garrosh has his own doubts. And with the Grim Totem that poisons
I know, I remember that. Although I wouldn't put the blame on him at all. It was a duel, and I mean, it's not like he intended to kill him. He actually,
and it wasn't even him that killed Karen. It was the fucking poison.
It was poisoned.
Yeah.
And although also another weird part is sorry.
It's okay. You can swear.
Who does Cairn think he is to challenge Garrosh? I mean, where was Cairn even during the assault on Icecrown Citadel and such?
Does Cairn have a more important role in Classic or the Burning Crusade? I haven't really played those.
I honestly don't remember. I'm almost 100% sure he wasn't in Burning Crusade, but he might have played a bigger role in Classic.
Because Karen, while he was a legacy character, like from Warcraft 3, I think that was where his most important stuff kind of, peaked. That was it. He establishes Mulgore, and then that's about it. From all my knowledge, that's what happens. So
yeah, and it's kind of weird that he challenges a person who is basically Horde's greatest champion at the time for ruling over a Horde, while he did almost nothing.
Here's the thing. I also remembered. The reason Karen challenged Garrosh was because there was this Cenarian Circle meeting with the Tauren and the Knight of Druids, and they got slaughtered by Orcs, the Night Elves.
Oh, what?
They let the Tauren...
I generally do not remember that. Was that Garrosh doing...
if I remember correctly, it wasn't even his fault. It was still the Grim Totem bitch. So...
Oh.
Still not his fault in this one.
Yeah. Honestly, it seems like a lot of things happened, and part of them wasn't even his fault, and it led him down a pretty terrible path.
Yeah.
Although it wasn't terrible until he went absolutely insane in Pandaria for some reason.
Yeah, I never understood that. So, I get bombing Terramore. They want to make it a war expansion, bomb Terramore. Oh, well, fuck the Alliance. The Alliance always gets fucked. We already learned that.
About Terramore, I think I actually told you a couple of times. I don't disagree with that attack, because it's an enemy capital, enemy city, and a huge one at that, with ships going straight to the enemy capital next to your capital. It's not far at all.
Yeah, and but remember
plus
nothing.
They were building fortresses leading into Durotar.
Remember another thing though that's important. There you have maybe one of the biggest advocates for the Horde and for peace. That's Jaina's place. Bombing
Yeah.
it is not really the best idea to make sure you're left without allies.
Well, Garrosh probably didn't really believe in peace with the Alliance, and I understand him completely. Alliance
can't
will
blame him.
never accept. Alliance will never accept Horde,
I can understand
And-
why Garage did it.
and vice versa. I mean, Horde will never accept Alliance. The whole premise. Oh my god. The whole premise of World of Warcraft is Warcraft.
Yep.
The faction war. Whole premise of it is that, and we just cannot work together. That's not how the game functions. But in lore, we also cannot function together because Alliance doesn't like trolls. Alliance doesn't like orcs. Alliance would probably tolerate Tauren, but like goblins, there's just no way.
I mean, who can tolerate a goblin? Let's be honest.
I liked him. I liked him, especially Gallywix. He's so funny. Did you maybe do Horde campaign during BFA?
I've done the Alliance one, and I'm missing Tides of Vengeance for the Horde.
It's so funny, man. When you go into like
I
what's
remember.
that?
Drusvar, right? With
Yeah,
Etric
man.
that gets scared of witches, which is stupid, but
Yeah, man. He's like, I want the Azerite, but this is too haunted even for me. It's pretty funny. He's hilarious, but he's kind of insane. Oh yeah, by the way, fun fact. Did you know that Gallywix single-handedly started Battle for Azeroth?
yes, I've read Before the Storm.
It would not happen at all if Gallywix didn't start it. Which is kind of crazy, man. He caused so much damage.
Well, here's the thing. I wouldn't even say Galloway's did it intentionally. It was more like a mistake.
Yeah.
It was the fucking sword that entered that poured all the fucking blood, and then activated his crystal thing.
Yeah, but he was like, oh, let me just run to Sylvanas and tell her there's like this giant source of energy that can bake huge bombs and weapons right here for the picking.
Or in the case of the Alliance. Go on.
And Sylvanas was like, let's go do that.
Or in the case of the Alliance, you can make a huge tank that doesn't live that long.
And it was also funny when Gallywix fights. What's the name of the Grand Mechanist of the gnomes?
Metacore, I think.
Mechator.
Mechator, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of funny when they fight in the air in mechs, basically Gundam in World of Warcraft.
Yeah, that is some potential there with aerial fights and stuff.
Yeah, that once they were mentioning classes like machinist and such for World of Warcraft, it would make sense considering now you have ability to craft mechs and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it just feels a little bit weird. The same with the Tinker class. It appeared in Warcraft 3, and then it just became an April Fool's thing. But there are still people that just hope with all their heart that the next class is gonna be a Tinker.
Yeah, but it would make absolute sense because you have gnomes that make incredible stuff like airships, cars, trikes, rockets, even other humanoid robots and stuff like that.
Yes.
And then you have goblins who make the exact same thing, but a more, how can I call it, explodey? The goblin stuff tends to explode, but they make exact same thing.
Here's the thing I didn't like about that. Exactly the exploding thing. It doesn't make sense.
It actually does, because in lore they explain that goblins don't really like working and they do sloppy jobs when making anything. That's why people don't trust them, well, again, with anything.
But what I'm referring to is that the gnomes can make stuff. The difference is that goblin stuff usually blows up, right? Gnomes don't have that problem that often, or if at all.
Yeah,
You know,
but gnomes are actually just as reckless. For example, you have Gnomregon. That was caused exactly by them. They caused the apocalypse in Gnomregon.
It was that guy that was in the short story Friends with Mechator or something. Yeah, I know.
They are kind of reckless in a way, but I would still say goblins are far more reckless and far more dangerous for everyone. Oh yeah, did you know that goblins? Goblins have actual rockets in Ashara.
Oh, the rail thing, yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
actual rockets. I was like, what, flying through the zone, and I'm like, hey, what's that? And it's like rockets. I was wondering, they probably can use those to like bomb a city or something.
Yeah, they could. They always could.
Just fill it with plague and fire it off.
Not sure how much the plague will be used anymore. To be fair.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure what's going to happen to Sylvanas even after everything. And who I would like to see lead Forsaken is probably Nathanos.
Yeah, Nathan's dead.
He is such a Chad. I love him so much. I don't even know where he came from. I'm still not sure where he came from, but I like the guy.
Nathanos has an interesting story. He was a human in Lordaeron that somehow became a ranger. The book Sylvanas explains that, but
They never did.
Matter.
They never did explain it in like game. I think.
No,
Did
no,
they?
no. And yeah, it's never explained how he went from a normal-looking Forsaken to the way he looks. It was only explained in this short story, Dark Mirror, and that's not even his face. That's the face of, I think, his little brother or cousin.
That's pretty weird. But yeah, in a way, and I don't care where he came from. It's kind of cool, I guess.
I agree. But I still think that Kalia should be on the throne.
No, I disagree. I don't even recognize her as part of the Horde.
You don't have to do that.
Why? What do you mean?
You don't have to recognize her as part of the Horde for her to be part of the Horde.
Yeah, but she literally is an outsider. I don't even understand why she is siding with the Horde at all.
Because she's also Forsaken, technically. Not really.
No, she was revived by some holy magic stuff.
Yeah, well, she was revived by the light. You can see she is light forged. I think that would work. She's light forged like the Draenei, you know?
I don't really think even Forsaken would agree with her being leader of Forsaken, I guess.
From what I read in Shadow Rising, I didn't finish that book, by the way. Got too bored with it. There's supposedly this thing where she's kind of accepted in a way, you know, but she and Lillian Voss are more part of the council, so the Forsaken are still stuck with the same problem as when Sylvanas was war chief. Their leader is in another capital, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's not like they exactly need to have her. They are not that far apart. You know, they got ships going around and then got magic to teleport. So it's not a big deal.
No, you know, I realized I've been talking shit. Lordaeron isn't healed. The Forsaken are still in Orgrimmar, supposedly. So
somehow, I literally didn't notice any change to Orgrimmar after Lordaeron fell.
I think the change was visible in the beginning of Battle for Azeroth.
Yeah,
because I remember up there, you know, in the gate of Orgrimmar, upstairs, on top of it, where the training dummies are, there were like these Forsaken characters.
Yeah, I remember that. I actually assumed that just part of the Sylvanas is like private defense force or whatever. Like if you remember the Korkron Vanguard.
No, those are the Dark Rangers, which are also not really that explained. what happened to them
Yeah.
after Battle for Azeroth.
Oh yeah, man. Do you remember the Korkron?
Yes, I do remember the Korkron.
And I absolutely loved that mini faction. They were so damn cool. It's like Horde's absolute elite force.
Yeah, that was badass, to be honest.
I miss that stuff so much in the Horde, like having a tiny army, but an army made of absolute monsters of people.
If I can make this comparison, it's like in 40k when you have for Space Marines, you have the first company that comes in Terminator armor. That's what
Yeah.
they were. Elite troops prepared for war. You can win a war only with them.
Yeah, you could basically toss Korkron in any battle, and they would come out as winners. Although, unless you have heroes, which is us fighting against them, then we're gonna slaughter them all.
Yeah, I mean that's the unfortunate fact.
Which happened in Siege of Orgrimmar, and that was a bit depressing because they were supposed to be. I wish they lived longer, honestly.
I think the guard is. They didn't reform it, did they? I can't
No,
remember if they did.
They don't exist anymore. I'm pretty sure they don't exist.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, sad, but happens. I think Garrosh was basically the one who made them.
Yeah, he basically instituted them when in the campaign for against the Lich King.
Yeah, Korkron Vanguard. Yeah, Korkron Vanguard appeared in Wrath of the Lich King, but later they were just called Korkron.
Yep.
Vanguard was the part referring to like Assault on Iceground Citadel.
Yep, that was it. And I don't think they appear again in Warlords of Draenor. They don't appear again.
Yeah, it's strange. Yeah, but he didn't really have access to actual Horde, or he had other armies, I guess.
Which, by the way, it doesn't really make that much sense because remember that the Warlord Zila, the chieftain of the Dragonmaw clan, and the Blackfuse Company are still on his side. The Blackfuse even make it on the other side. They make it on alternate Draenor.
Huh? He did?
Yeah, they did.
He didn't die in Siege of Orgrimmar?
He might, but the company made it on the other side. Because that's how they got the Iron Stars.
Oh yeah, listen to this funny tidbit of lore. Did you know that goblins somehow made it to Outland before we did?
I can't remember, and I didn't know that.
There is parts of the lore that mention goblins getting to Outland and everywhere before we, as heroes, actually even discover the place. Which is kind of weird part about them. They make it everywhere somehow.
Yeah, that is right there. There is Area 52 in Outland.
Yeah. They're kind of weird race as well. We're still not sure where they come from.
Well, they're not a unified race like humans or how the orcs are now with the Horde. They're more like each one has their own separate things and they do separate things from each other.
Yeah. Well, Gallywooks like control a big chunk of them, but you have a lot of companies. For the cartel, for example. Do you know what the cartel is?
The Steam Widow cartel, you mean?
Yeah, Steam Widow cartel.
Yeah.
I forgot the name, so I just call them cartel. And the Steam Widow cartel is made up of like 4 to 5 factions. Not sure if you remember getting reputation with them back in the day.
Oh yeah, I know, with the Booty Bay something as on whatever. Yeah, I remember those. You made them by killing Blood Seal Buccaneers.
Those are all different Goblin factions.
The Goblin cities, right? They're more like city-states.
Yeah, city-states you could call them, but like Booty Bay is partially Goblin, partially neutral and stuff like that. It's weird, actually. Kazan was destroyed by Deathwing, and the one in that icy region, I forgot its name, is also kind of independent.
And the Winter Spring, I think it
Yeah,
was
Winter Spring.
Everlook
Yeah.
or something like that.
Everlook.
Yeah.
That one's also kind of independent. They do weird stuff. Interesting race, I would say.
No, they are more.
Especially they make steampunk stuff that's almost constantly on fire. That's why I like them.
I think they're more close to diesel punk than steampunk, to be honest. More with oil and stuff than
I have to agree with that. Actually, I'm not sure what exactly those two words cover, but if you say so, I'll take your word for it.
Okay, so diesel punk is basically like steampunk, but instead of using steam powered stuff, you use diesel, and you get cars that need a bunch of fuel to work, and it's very explosive and something.
Yeah, definitely. They actually have those places that harvest oil.
That is for the Venture Co. Like those are like bad goblins.
I forgot those. I forgot them entirely. Venture Co. actually collects oil all over the Azeroth.
Yep.
Like in Stranglethorn Vale, you have a place where they got those giant pumps.
Next to the Prowlers, I think. To the Black Panthers, you have to do for Hemingway.
Yeah, that's exactly the place. And they harvest oil, I guess. Yeah, I would agree. Diesel punk, it is definitely. Although I'm pretty sure they sell to both factions or something. I never actually saw oil harvesting operation on the Alliance side, even though gnomes use it as well, I think.
Yeah, there are. Basically, they don't really extract oil the same way as you would expect with the goblins, Yeah, I can't remember anything like that ever seeing,
So that's why I'm thinking Venture Co. probably sells to both factions.
But you have to understand. Did you read Exploring Calendar?
Not sure actually. What's it about? Can you?
Is the one with this troll guy they've introduced in Battle for Azeroth, and he goes with Rexar and basically explores Calendar and makes a map and stuff like that.
I probably didn't. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. So
I actually haven't read up on books in a while. I probably should read up on books. I'm more like I learned almost all lore in the game and some from the books. Like I read comics, all of them that they put out, and I think I read Storm Rage.
Yeah, but you're gonna find yourself in the position where a bunch of what you know is basically retconned.
Yeah.
Because a bunch of the old stuff was retconned with the Warcraft Chronicles, with World of Warcraft Chronicles 1, 2, and 3. But then they made
also
other books and retconned those. So
also, I think I also read every single book in the game. When you find the book.
Yeah.
I read all of those.
For real.
Like every single one. I went and looked for them and read them. So one of my favorite ones was like in I think Scarlet Monastery, where you read a testimony of a farmer that lived near Stratholme, and he mentions how he saw Nextramas teleport, and I was like, "Wow, nice."
Cool. I didn't read all of them.
Yeah, it was interesting to me, so that's why I read them. And I really liked the part when I learned that those necropolises can pretty much teleport.
I think they can, yeah.
It was pretty interesting. Unless you're incompetent lich and you crash it into the side of the mountain, like in the tundra.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. You can also find his journal, and he explained that he crashed it into the side of the mountain.
I mean, you do lose something when you die and you come back to life, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they don't technically have a brain.
Here's an.
They'll,
Go on.
go ahead.
No, go on, yeah.
I was just going to say, like, they don't really have any organs anyway.
Yeah. Here's an interesting bit. You know, Dead Knights from like Warcraft 2? They're like warlock souls put in human bodies, in the bodies of knights. After Beyond the Dark Portal, yeah, that's the second expansion. When Ner'zhul just opens rifts everywhere on Outland, it just yeets somewhere. So Jaden turns the Death Knights into liches. So a bunch of liches that supposedly appear in the Warcraft 3 campaign for the Scourge of Lordaeron are technically supposed to be former Death Knights from Warcraft 2. And I think even some from World of Warcraft have the same thing.
I don't actually think transforming someone into a lich is that much of a problem, especially if they already are into death magic and such. So, for example, you transform in Warcraft 3 with Scourge campaign, you basically transform a necromancer into a lich with 0 issues.
I mean, I wouldn't really call it 0 issues, my man. You can't have to destroy a whole kingdom to do that.
I mean, how hard was that? It was not very hard.
I'm gonna tell you something. People on Twitter, on every place I've seen where the Warcraft story is discussed, they cry about how bad it was that Artis killed Sylvanas and raised her as a Banshee. Screw that!
What?
Those were the most annoying missions ever, and she was annoying to deal with. She deserved it.
Yeah, and she like kept escaping and shooting black arrows at you, and actually almost killed him.
Yeah, thank God for Kill to that.
That would have been interesting if she did kill him. I wonder what would happen with the Scourge.
Probably the Lich King should have found another champion, but no one was really.
That would be hard actually, because you already invested
The
so
Frostmourne,
much into Arthas. Plus, Sylvanas would 100% take Frostmourne and at least seal it somewhere.
Yeah, unless the Lich King could corrupt her through Frostmourne, but you know.
That's possible, but I don't think elves are as stupid as humans are when dealing with cursed artifacts.
I mean, yes,
I take that back. Never mind.
you know, we are in this mess because of elves to begin with, so.
Every race gets their chance to screw up Azeroth even more. Like you had trolls, you had humans, you had orcs, you had night. Wait, did we? Oh, I guess we have night elves to screw up Azeroth next.
Well, they did kind of screw it up the first time, 10,000 years ago with the War of the Ancients. You know?
Yeah, but not the same kind of. I guess not the same kind of elves. You know.
I mean, they were technically the same as the. Well, yeah, you're right. They weren't really the same as the Kaldorei, as the Night Elves we have today.
So, like now they basically split up. So it's not the same elves. Not even close, actually.
Here's the weird thing, because the Night Elves that we have and the Nightborn, they're technically separated. They're influenced by different things compared to the original Night Elves, like Queen Azshara and the other stuff, you know?
Well, yeah, now you got Nightborn because they were feeding off the Nightwell for 10,000 years.
Yeah. We will never see an original Night Elf. That's what I want to get. Like, how did they look originally? You know?
You do, I guess. If you go back, if you did the Well of Eternity dungeon,
I mean,
basically get to see Illidan and how he looked.
Yeah, but I'm talking more, you know, modern stuff. Not really what happened in the past.
Yeah, you never really did see your original Night Elf. I guess I'm not actually sure about that. I think the Night Elves are actually still the same although they did lose their immortality. But Blood Elves and Nightborn are the ones that became completely different.
Yeah,
Culturally, Night Elves are not the same as the original elves, but physically, I think that they are.
now I'm thinking, how much influence did Druidism and the Loom basically have on their physical forms? I mean, we know what happens to Druids when they get higher in rank. They become like Malfurion, they grow antlers and leaves and wings.
I actually thought that was cosmetic, honestly.
No.
Can so it's not cosmetic.
No. You actually
Damn.
grow those. If you become a powerful enough druid and the elements and whatever likes you, you actually start growing stuff. That shouldn't be on you.
That's actually weird. I always thought the wings and the horns are like something he just put there to look cool or something.
At this point, I think he wishes he did that.
Yeah, he probably can remove them, but it's probably like a mark that he's like this all powerful druid or something.
Probably. It would
I
make
mean,
sense.
Yeah, it's not like he became a different being or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if I remember well, when he turns into a bear, he doesn't have antlers, right?
Yeah, I don't think those carry over when he transforms into other forms. Although we don't really see him transform into other forms often.
I think we only saw him in the bear form in Battle for Azeroth. In fact.
It's kind of rare for him to transform now, I think.
Yeah. Huh, interesting.
Yeah, come to think of it, we don't really see him do much anywhere, ever.
Like, why wasn't he in Shadowlands, for example?
Yeah.
It would make sense for him to be there.
Just like toss him into that natural realm, and he's gonna do so much good there, probably.
Yeah, probably mend some old broken relationships, you know?
Yeah. And as I mentioned mentioned to you yesterday, I'm still pissed that they sacrificed Ursoc for Ysera. But I guess they needed her to like.
Yeah.
She is 100% going to appear in Dragonflight.
Yeah, she. I guarantee you, she will come back. Like,
that's why they needed her. But overall, I would say Ursoc is so much better character.
Don't we in Legion get another bear thingy? I think she also appears.
Ashamain?
No, not Ashamain. Is this weird celestial bear thing that appeared in Ardenweald at some point? I don't remember from where it came. They had a stupid name. I thought it was Ursoc in the beginning as well, until I saw it was something else.
Honestly, I don't remember what that is.
I'm gonna search it up a little bit, so let's see. Ardenweald.
Yeah, that just shows you how boring Shadowlands campaign is.
You did see that you don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah, you can just skip it and do dungeons.
No, like if you're a new player, you're not forced to go through it.
Oh, so for new players as well. Now, I thought you needed to do it once at least.
No, you are safe if you are a new player. You do Battle for Azeroth, which is better, in my opinion.
You meant. Wait, what do you mean? Do you mean like in Dragonflight you will just do or now?
In Dragonflight, if you are a new player, after Exile's Reach, you do only Battle for Azeroth. You don't have to go to Shadowlands.
It's actually a lot better. Like, BFA, as much as people hated it, it's 10 times better than Shadowlands, both in lore and how the zones look. Like, look at High Mountain, man. That zone looks absolutely amazing.
High Mountain's from Legion.
Oh, fuck, I'm an idiot. Not High Mountain, the Stormsong Valley.
Yeah, that is a pretty nice zone.
Awesome. And Zuldazar.
Oh, yeah, Zuldazar is amazing. I'm gonna be honest with you, I always love that city, and I find it way more easier to navigate than the Kultiras. I don't know why.
Kultiras is the city. The city is causing the most issues. I think you get lost in it, and
Yeah.
you can especially when you can't fly. And I still think we're locked out of flying unless we do that long achievement to fly in.
Technically, doesn't the previous expansion become
Nope.
doable in flight?
So like you can fly in Legion right away now,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
But
you
you
can.
can't fly in BFA. When what's it called?
When Dragonfly
When
releases,
Dragonflight comes out, you'll be able to fly in BFA, but you won't be able to fly right away in Shadowlands, although that would have been the case if they didn't allow everyone to fly now.
yeah, that is from.
Which is still weird. I guess they should have allowed flying in BFA as well.
Yeah, that would have made the most sense. Interesting thing about flying. We might be stuck in Dragonflight only with the flying dragon thing that they want to force on us.
Kind of can get a bit boring, I guess.
Yeah, especially because you have to play a mini game to be able to fly, which really kind of ruins the point of getting from point A to point B if I have to make sure I don't fall off the dragon.
I didn't even actually see that. What's that about falling off the dragon?
You have to play this game where at some point, this mini game, where at some point you glide on the dragon and you have to press some buttons. I think that is not explained. They didn't show anything about it. It's just a speculation that, you know, the thing where you have like 3 buttons and you have to press them at the right time to do it.
So yeah, I can tell you exactly what's gonna happen. They're gonna add that. People are gonna complain. They're gonna remove that.
I'm expecting they're gonna remove it at some point, like
And
the first patch.
They're gonna have to allow us to fly other mounts as well. People hate being locked out from other mounts. Like if I have Frostbrood from Icecrown Citadel, you better believe that I want to ride it.
Yeah.
Or like Midnight. I will never give up on my flying horses.
I get you, man. Like, it doesn't really make sense to introduce all these mounts, everything awesome, but they somehow get man in black every time. You know? Nope, you forgot how to fly. Like, how do birds forget how to fly? What's the logic to that?
Yeah. Well, you can just like say, oh, weird magic and stuff like that. But yeah, it doesn't make sense. You should always be able to fly at this point in World of Warcraft. But I do understand the sentiment that you should spend some time exploring the zones on foot.
They could design the zones in such a way that you have to do a combination of both on foot and on air. It will take more time, but you know, it will be more interesting than walking around through a pack of mobs.
Completely sold actually on giving people flying right away in any case. So like I would love it more if it was, oh, do the quests in each zone on one character and then you'll be allowed to fly in those zones.
Yeah, so to use Lore Master to unlock it, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. That would both be a way to explore it once properly and then get flying. That's so simple. Then you unlock it. And then you unlock it on all your characters because you already completed the story once, and now you just want to go through it fast.
I agree with you on this one, and I think it's a way better idea than having the whole stupid Pathfinder system where you have to do a bunch of things that don't make any sense to get it, you know?
Yeah,
and it would also be a little bit slower than getting flying in Zerat Mortis, because getting flying in Zerat Mortis is easy. I like it because it's easy. But, you know, it's that point where you can do it in less than a day. At least if you have
I wouldn't mind not flying in zones like but some zones are way too chaotic for me not to fly in them. For example, I'm not sure if they added flying in Maw, but I sure as hell hope they did.
No, no, the mall is still restricted. You can only use ground mounts. Your mounts are all grounded in that one.
Such a terrible zone, man. Everything is trying to kill you, and they have like billion health points.
Yeah, at some point it's just annoying to have to deal with them.
Plus, I also went to hunt that horse. You know that, what's it called? Glory, something like that. I'm not sure.
Okay, I know.
And I actually saw it in front of me, and I was too slow to hit it, and it died.
Ooh.
I was so pissed. And if I was able to fly, I would have been able to charge at it and hit it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happens. And plus, you can get knocked off the mounts and stuff like that.
You don't get knocked off the mounts if you're a tank.
Huh? What?
Yeah, if you're a tank, you don't get knocked off the mount. You don't get dazzled. You get if you're another spec. For example, if you're a retribution paladin, you get dazzled and knocked off.
Oh, I actually never heard that before.
Yeah, it's a thing. And also in Zerat Mortis, there's this interesting thing. It doesn't matter what race you are. If you go into the desert zone where there are these the Mossworn, the flying Mossworn, they can take you out of the sky with one hit. It doesn't matter whatever you have. If you're a tank spec, if you have those mount equipment that let you stay mounted, no, doesn't matter at all.
That is interesting. Good to know, honestly. I can just run around in protection spec and not get knocked off. I mean, protection warrior deals massive damage anyway.
Yeah, you just need a shield. That's all.
Yeah, it's just like start hitting people with revenge and stuff like that.
Yep.
Okay, what can we talk about now? Any topics that you have in mind?
Oh yeah, I had one. And I just thought about it right now, so it's not that well formed. But what do you think would fit an orc best as a warrior spec? The one with Titan's grip or the protection thing?
What you mean? In the lore?
Yes.
Good question. But probably big weapons, because orcs... I don't think I ever really saw much orcs with shields, ever. Even it mentioned in lore or in the game.
Yeah, I also attribute this shield thing more to the Alliance. To Alliance warriors, to humans. Yeah. I'm not sure if there is an orc with a shield, though.
That's what I'm saying. I don't recall ever seeing one. Even like guards carry like one-handed weapon and nothing else, or just like two one-handed weapons and stuff like that.
But there are also these shields in the game that are pretty awesome. They're like bulwark shield, you know, giant shield with spikes on them. I think those fit very good.
I have that one on my warrior. I use it sometimes.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It really
that one fits the horde really well.
So more like tower shields, I think they're called in Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, tower shields.
Yeah,
those are tower shields. They fit horde, but you know, horde is more of the type like kill your enemy before he retaliates and stuff like that.
Yeah, you want to go brute force on it.
Yeah, like they say, best defense is a good offense. That's the mindset of the horde. And the Alliance is like more defensive one.
I don't really like this about the Alliance being so defensive, because they seem almost passive in lore. They like just stand there and are waiting for the punch to come in front of them, you know, to just hit them.
Well, that's actually interesting you mentioned that, because it has been a point in lore that Alliance likes building walls and hiding in places.
Hey, I'm just saying we should build a wall.
Like you
Well,
have Stormwind, it has massive walls. You have Ironforge, it has massive walls, and it's built into a mountain. Plus, I'm pretty sure that for the longest time, dwarves didn't want to take part in the alliance and didn't want to help the alliance at all.
here's
And
this. No, I think those are elves. The dwarves were more willing to help than the elves.
pretty sure Ironforge was closed for a really long time.
Ironforge got closed during the Third War because they were also got invaded. They were trying to be invaded by the Scourge. It was also closed during the Second War when the Horde wanted to assault it and realized they can't do it. And they went for Lord on.
Yeah. And also you had what's the Worgen city called? I forgot.
Gilneas, that has the biggest walls.
Biggest
Gilneas.
wall. And I also wanted to mention that Gang Greymane is a war criminal.
I know you have this against him. But look, I'm just saying, we should look at the Gilnean wall, make it bigger, and have the Horde pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the
You
end
can try.
and at the end you have
You
a
can
fence,
try. Yeah. But yeah, it's funny because Greymane's wall was actually interesting to me. Whenever pre-Cataclysm, whenever you went there, you just saw like bunch of nothing and it's closed. And I never thought that there's a bunch of werewolves behind that. It's weird. I mean, we knew Arugal existed and stuff like that, and it's never crossed my mind that we will have werewolves as a race.
Here's the funny thing: it's Arugal's death that I think starts this thing in Gilneas.
Yeah, he was. What was he even? He was like a mage, necromancer, and stuff like that.
No, he was a mage, and he found the site of Elune, the site that gives the druids powers to turn into wolves, and he had that, then he dies, and it gets taken by I think another werewolf, but that got retconned out of the story. That got cut out.
It was. Do you know where it was taken?
I think it was taken to Northrend, and then it became a Legion class thing.
No. Do you know? Do you want to hear it?
Sure.
It was actually taken into the mine in Duskwood.
In Duskwood.
Yeah, and they found the site of Elune there, and it caused all those Worgens. If you know, Duskwood is filled with Worgens.
Yeah, but okay, it makes sense. I guess it makes sense.
Do you remember that the riders of Karazhan picked it up and took it?
Yeah, I do.
And they took it to Deadwind's Pass and then Karazhan. They took it from when it was found in Duskwood. They took it from there into Karazhan.
Yeah, I remember.
It was actually a funny tidbit. I actually think that was the retcon, that it was uncovered in Duskwood instead of Worgen curse being caused by Arugal.
Yeah, the party
Or it could have been both. He might have caused the outbreak in Gilneas, but not the one in Duskwood and so on.
Yeah, no, I think you're right on this one. I think that might have been Argos to blame for what happened in Gilneas, but whatever happened in Duskwood is basically the site's fault.
Yeah, that's why there's a bunch of Worgens over there, and I'm not entirely sure that that they are connected to the werewolves in Gilneas. Doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, those in Duskwood seem a little bit more feral than what we get in Gilneas.
Mm-hmm. And you got the quest where you like free one of them, and it's one of the people that was already in Duskwood before Cataclysm.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in Cataclysm exactly, the site of Elune was uncovered, and then it was basically taken by
the
rider of Karazhan. It's a bit weird, honestly.
Yeah, they've done a lot of stuff with Gilneas, and they've got an interesting part. There was basically like a mirror to Malfurion and Illidan's story, but instead of arcane magic and druidism, it was like, do you give in to the wolf or not? You know?
Mhm.
Huh.
Though it's kind of strange that when like the druid gets the sight that we don't have the ability to transform into that wolf form.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of weird. Like somehow we lost that power along the road.
Yeah, and we kept the sight with no influence on us. And its mere presence was enough to turn druids feral.
Yeah, I know it doesn't make sense at
Well,
all.
I guess you have to like believe some things. Like I mean, you have shards of Frostmourne and stuff like that, and you make it into the weapons. You have to like
Yeah,
just let it go.
Yeah, suspend your disbelief for a moment. You know,
Yeah,
with
like
some of
I
these.
mean, I wouldn't even touch shards of Frostmourne. There's just no way. But I guess I can believe that they control it somehow.
Yeah, because there's another Lich King, and it's not like you have the whole of Frostmourne. You just have like pieces of it to make your own swords.
Pieces, but yeah, you basically use everything that's left of it, and it's definitely cursed because you in the campaign you see soul of Arthas, like at
Yeah,
least part of
I
his soul.
know. I've added that to my artist lore series. I didn't really find the place to put it, so I added in the big one. I was just looking up to put those parts in with artists there. It was
That's actually
amazing.
still weird. Didn't he like remain in in those shards? Did Death Knights free him?
Oh, okay. So here's the interesting part that gets retconned later on, because of course, Argus gets killed for real. And what
Ooh.
that happens in Wrath of the Lich King. He's dead. Nothing's left of him. What you're supposedly seeing with the Twin Blades of the Fallen Prince, I think they're called.
Yeah, that's the name.
It's basically you see a projection of him from the Shadowlands. And
Oh.
if you remember the projection, it looks like the Lich King. It doesn't look like Arthas.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't look like what's depicted in Edge of Night, for example, where the artist is a tiny boy. Or that's how Sylvanas sees him, you know?
Yeah, I guess retcons ruin everything, man. What else can I tell you? I mean, I knew for a fact that that was part of his soul. I mean, Muradin himself said like that the blade took his soul, and that Muradin's soul was the first one that it took.
Well,
Was it Muradin? Yeah, it was Muradin.
Yeah, well, Muradin didn't die
Yeah.
for it. In the book...
Wait, whose soul did he take first with Frostmourne?
Okay.
What's the name? Wait a minute. Didn't...
His own men, technically. Because Mal'Ganis being a Dreadlord, he just goes back to twisting
No, I
Nether.
mean, the first person he tried to kill with Frostmourne was Muradin, right?
No, he didn't try. Here's the interesting bit. In Rise of the Lich King, Arthas Rise of the Lich King, when you get to that point of Arthas proclaims he will give everything to avenge his people and protect them. Bunch of lies. The sword just...
No, I was sorry. I will stop you for a minute.
Sure.
I don't think that was that was a lie. I think he was honest.
He was honest then.
That.
What happened then, is the Lich King and stuff.
That was him being completely honest.
Yes, I agree.
But like he got corrupted and stuff happened.
Yes, I agree. My bad. And wait a minute.
Yeah, I'll just reply
We have
quickly.
somebody here. Hello, the Gringolada. Sup, man?
Hey.
Okay, we're talking some lore here. Going back to Rise of the Lich King. Okay, so we're talking about Muradin and the soul. Now, when Arthas does his speech, the sword basically explodes out of the ice, and one of the ice shards hits Muradin. And when that happens, Arthas wants to go and heal him. But the sword's calling is stronger than his own desire to help Muradin, and thus he gives up on Light's vengeance, his hammer, and picks up the sword, and leaves Muradin to die. Which we know does happen.
Almost 100% sure that he stabbed him in the campaign.
Nope, didn't happen. In the campaign, it's still the ice shard that hits him, but Arthas doesn't give a shit. He's go like, okay, drop hammer, get sword, you know?
I mean, it's just a dwarf.
At the end of the day, yeah.
Yeah. So what I was going to say, I was pretty sure that he actually attacked him with Frostborn. I might be misremembering, but I was just if he did hit him, I was going to say, how the hell did he survive?
No,
but I guess
technically the
that's how he
first
survived.
thing he attacks is Mal'Ganis with it. But here's the more interesting part. They retcon the thing. They go to the Twisting Nether now, Dreadlords. He killed his own men first. That's the souls he took. Captain Farrick and Captain Marwyn. Those are the first.
Yeah, the ones from Halls of Reflection.
Yep, those are.
Yeah, and he killed a bunch of people, but yeah, we don't know those.
Yeah, who random foot soldiers, you know.
Yeah. What was I going to say? It's curious. And Uther in the end. I still don't see Uther as very relevant character to World of Warcraft. I mean, sure, he was a paladin and Arthas killed him, but we never really got to see him do anything major. Like, you have characters like Alexandros Mograine. He's like 100 times better and more important character than Uther ever was. Why don't we see more of him in Shadowlands, for example? I mean, we do see him, but he's not, like, all the time with us like Uther is.
Yeah, they put a great emphasis on Uther because if you remember Steve Donser, I'm gonna withhold my tongue from saying anything bad about him for this time.
On the ground when you say that name.
Yeah, basically. He said that this expansion will solve all the ties from things that started in Warcraft 3. And that's why. That's why a bunch of the characters that got screwed in this thing or became irrelevant are characters from Warcraft 3. You know? And Talia, Fordragon, and Kalia that just appeared in Oribos and didn't do shit.
But the daughter of Bolvar.
Yeah, Talia.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere. I was like, wait a minute, what? Fordragon? Where the hell did that come from?
I mean, okay, sure, he had a daughter, good, but you know.
Yeah, and she just conveniently got lost at sea and ended up in Kultiras, and then became important in Kultiras instead of drowning or something.
No, if I remember well, she was sent there as a ward, in fact. She didn't get lost at sea, she was sent as a ward. You know,
I could have sworn that she mentioned that they found her on the shore or something.
That would make it even more funny.
Yeah, it would.
There was 6 Machina thing.
It's kind of weird stuff again, I guess. But yeah, you said she disappeared into Oribos just.
Yeah, she just appeared into Oribos alongside Kalia Menethil, and they were kind of irrelevant. They just stood in Oribos. At least Talia, Asha, had more to do. She had those interactions with her father, which were, you know, she was like, oh, I was alone and stuff. Yeah, I was in the frozen throne, making sure none of you bitches get eaten by the ghouls.
Slaughtered by the... I mean, just like, quote, King Taranis, there must always be the Lich King.
Well, no longer. That's no longer a thing.
Yeah, sadly, but that's also a bit depressing.
Yeah,
because it was cool to have like this powerful character that's basically holding back the undead.
Yeah, you know, and is this lingering thread that you know it's there. You know you're gonna have to deal with this someday, and you're never sure when that's gonna be.
Didn't we? Oh yeah, we did get more on the Scourge situation, didn't Blood Elves get invitation to return to Quel'Thalas?
The Blood Elves were always in Quel'Thalas.
No. From Shadowlands, the heroes from Shadowlands. You have quests that basically call you back to Quel'Thalas to deal with the Scourge or something like that.
To deal with some... I'm not sure if it's Dark Khan, the one that first betrayed the elves, or if it's a random Sunlin, you know?
Yeah.
But I know you do that.
There is that. You know, it's basically a hint that Scourge is no longer under anyone's control, I would say.
After the judgment of Sylvanas, Darien, Mograine, and Bolivar have this stay a while and listen moment. And it kind of concludes that the Scourge is now loose and that the Ebon Blade will take care of it in the future, like to protect the living from the Scourge.
Not that easy, honestly. There's in canon, there's not that much Death Knights. The only Death Knights that we have on our side are basically the ones from Asher's, the Evanhold. And the rest were either killed off or are still hostile to Horde and Alliance. But there couldn't have been more than like 100 Death Knights in lore.
There probably were, but at this point, I think there are way fewer because you can't make more of them. You're just stuck with what you have, you know?
Plus, you had the assault on Ma. We lost so much Death Knights there.
Yeah, you also have to consider that.
So, like, there really can't be more than 50 right now. They are not going to deal with anything, man.
I'd probably give you 100 at max. But that, you know, considering that...
Go on. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Considering that you still have Lich in the Ebonhold thing, the flying necropolis, considering you still have some ghouls, some of those creepy crawler guys, you know?
Look, we got a comment. He said Polvar did literally anything just to not pay alimony.
Exactly, my man.
I mean, it almost caught up to him, and he was like, I gotta go deal with this God of Death guy. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you just wait for me. I promise I have it. I promise I have it. I'm gonna give it to you. Just let me finish this first, and then never came back.
You are no longer an orphan, and she's an orphan again.
Yeah, basically.
Basically.
Oh, good one, man.
Not a great time. She's like, I finally got a dad.
Nope.
And nope.
And now, but he's stuck, by the way. He has to do something.
What's he doing now? I actually forgot. I know that he's like basically in the same limbo as Illidan. I'm just not sure what's he doing.
And he's in not any limbo. He's alive and well, walking in Zerath Mortis, and that's about it. We all know what's gonna happen to him. It doesn't really make much sense for him to join the Alliance because, you know...
I don't think he's gonna do that. He's probably gonna return to the Icecrown Citadel then, and just like chill there or something.
Probably. And here's the funny part, that, you know, we still got this comment about alimony. In Romania, once the child reaches 18 years old, you don't have to pay anymore.
That's basically the same everywhere.
Yeah, but if you manage to hold down those payments long enough for the child to reach 18, you're scot-free. There's no problem there. They're not going to send you to jail for not paying it.
They can't sue you?
Nope. The mother has to... the other parent, because it happens for fathers to win from time to time, has to sue you specifically before the child turns 18. Once he goes 18, tough luck.
Well, yeah, but normally... I actually think that's how it always works. If you don't get sued for alimony, you're not... no one's gonna come after you.
It really depends on what state we're talking about and how much the state has a grab on laws and stuff and on its people. Because in a more draconic state, they're gonna come for you. That's basically sharks.
Imagine landing in jail because you didn't pay alimony. Like,
There are
hey
people.
man, why are you in jail? I killed 5 people. Hey, why are you in jail? I didn't pay alimony for 5 years and now I'm here.
There are people that went to that. Here's the funny thing, since we kind of moved from World of Warcraft to real stuff. Do you know there are like a few people that are banned from Hollywood, from the Oscars? So there you have people like Harvey Weinstein, which of course, understandable. You would not have him there.
You also have now Will Smith, and you have who's the pedophile guy who ended up running outside of the state?
Roman Polanski.
Yeah, Roman Polanski.
But he still got an Oscar, and Harrison Ford gave it to him. Anyway,
I mean, Hollywood, you know what they like.
He changed his identity. No one's gonna look for Boulevard and Ice Cream Citadel. I mean, that worked.
Actually, he's not wrong. Actually,
Yeah,
a
he's
lot of
right.
people didn't even know who the new Lich King is.
Exactly.
Because he got scarred terribly by the fire of Red Dragonflight.
Yeah.
And then he took up the throne. Nobody could recognize Bolvar on the throne.
Exactly. He didn't even look human. You know?
Yeah, he looked like one of those constructs.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that works. That is a way to avoid alimony.
Yeah, like, great idea. Next time, get burned by fires of the dragons.
Oh yeah, kind of hard to find the dragon, you know?
I don't know. You can find a bunch of them now.
Yeah, true that. No, yeah.
And they're more than willing to burn you to death, considering you have primalists.
Oh yeah, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, let's go back. Wow, Lord, people.
I just want to finish this idea about the Oscars. Sure. So you have people that have been banned from that for doing bad stuff, you know? And there's this one guy that played in The Godfather that got banned from the Oscars for piracy. Just simple piracy.
Like being an actual real-life pirate?
Nope.
Or like downloading movies?
No, at the Oscars they receive like previews of the movie for free. Like you go to the Oscar, let's say there are 5 nominees for Best Picture, and you get a reel with all of them to watch and, you know, to make the vote and decide. And you're technically not allowed to share those. And he shared those. And he shared them.
That's just stupid, man. It's like it's even a big deal.
I know. All these 6 pests and all these awful people, and then there's this little guy that just shared the movie with some friends and family.
You literally have so much worse people. Like, let's just say the most recent ones. You have Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
He went completely insane. Dude keeps attacking people, I think.
No,
like,
he
this
might
is like his 3rd or 2nd time he ended up in jail.
He might be a misogynist for real because he only keeps attacking women. You know?
He hit a woman with a bloody chair, man, in the head.
And there was this other time with the mic at the karaoke.
Yeah, that one he actually assaulted like full on. I think didn't he like punch her several times?
Yeah. No,
how the hell does he keep getting away with that, man? That's like 2 assaults in under 6 months. You will be serving 5 years at least.
It's rich people money. You know how it goes.
Yeah, and you have like Will Smith. Nothing happened to him. Although I'm almost sure that it was scripted and on purpose.
I think he got banned from the Oscars for like 10 years.
Yeah, but I'm saying that I would put money that it was staged.
I mean, even if it was staged, why would he do it in risk 10 years?
Yeah, but look at it this way. He's old. Why would he care if he got banned from Oscars? He's got money. He's got influence. He's got everything.
True.
I mean, why should you care?
True. I'm just gonna not comment on his wife.
Yeah, I'm not gonna comment either.
That's a whole different issue.
Dude is not having a good time. I mean, if you saw one of those videos where she was recording, it's just sad. I feel bad for the dude, honestly. He's not the best person, but you can't not feel bad for him.
That is true. That is true.
And yeah, one more person you got recently, Amber Heard.
Oh,
I'm
screw
sure
her.
you know.
Screw her.
Yeah, she and there's a lot of there's a lot of videos coming out, and she's just sinking worse. She's just coming off as worse and worse person.
Oh yeah, she is totally. Like she blamed the teacup Yorkies. Those are like my palms. Those barely do anything. You know?
Yeah. Also, I just want to respond. Yeah, Oscars are on life
Oh,
support.
truly.
The Will Smith slap basically was one of those. You know when you shock a person back to life. That's what that was, and their ratings were falling off year by year. There's almost no one who cares about the Oscars at this point.
Yeah, totally. That's useless at this point. They need
Sorry, you
stuff like
can
that.
continue now.
I don't know where I was going, but I see that we got another comment from Dragon Golada here. Amber third. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I never really hated her that much until I realized that she was lying about all the abuse. I mean, if it was like equal, if he was a piece of shit, if you excuse my language,
It's
and
okay.
she was the exact same, I wouldn't be that mad. But everyone just piled on Johnny Depp as if he was the one at fault for every single thing, and she was like this perfect saint. And then later it comes out that 90% of it was her.
Bro, like her first movie is I think it's on free. You can watch it free on YouTube, and it has like 900 views. Like
Yeah, she was okay. She's not that bad actor. I mean, Johnny Depp is definitely better, but she's okay, I guess, as an actor. What else can I say?
I've only watched Aquaman. That's the only movie I've watched with her, and not that impressed. I'm not gonna say it's terrible. Like she's a wooden plank.
Well, Aquaman. Overall, I think the movie's okay, but I have one issue with it. Do you remember the final scene with all the fish and stuff?
Yeah,
I almost died from that scene. What the hell was that? So much CGI, man. I was going blind. I couldn't see what's going on at all. And it
well,
was on giant cinema screen.
they have to make fishes somehow.
Too much. That was just overwhelming amount of CGI. But overall, it's an okay movie, and I really liked Ocean Master.
Interesting.
Orm was pretty cool, and he actually. Weird part about it also is that Orm actually beat Aquaman for the throne of Atlantis in one-on-one, and somehow Orm still lost later. I don't understand how that works. Aquaman escaped the duel because Orm was beating him.
That's the same thing that happened in Black Panther. The first time Killmonger and T'Challa fight, Killmonger bests him, T'Challa runs, gets healed by the spirits, and then he wins the second fight.
That's the weird part. The people would not accept that. Like if they see their current king, who by the way they know and probably like way more than this stranger who came in and challenged him, and their king beats the hell out of the stranger escapes only to essentially ambush him later and beat him, they would not accept him as a king. There's just no way.
Yeah, no, that's just military coup. Nobody's gonna accept this government. You know.
Yeah, you would basically be attacked by the entire nation. But I guess he's the hero. You know what? What else? what can you do?
Yeah, I mean, they're supposed to win in the end.
Yeah, that's how movies work, I guess. In a lot of movies, you can just tell that nothing's gonna ever happen to the protagonist, and it's gonna get boring sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, but it's also important how they build suspense. Like, you are there at the edge of your seat and you're thinking, will he make it? Will he not? In the back of your head, you might understand, you might know that he's gonna make it. Duh. But to create that suspense where you're really thinking about that character, is he gonna make it? Is he not?
As long as it's not like, oh, you know that trope, oh, the power of friendship and stuff like that. As long as it's not like that, I'm fine with it.
The power of friendship that helps
it's
you.
about the journey, not the ending. What they say, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. What else? Did we go back to World of Warcraft?
Yeah, let me just read this comment. He is dead, so I don't know what they're gonna do about Black Panther. Didn't they want to use the chick for Black Panther?
Yeah, they're gonna do Black Panther with Shuri.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm not sure how that's gonna work out. They're probably gonna say, yeah, I'm not sure, but I do know that they're gonna do it with Shuri. For sure, it's gonna happen.
But if I remember well, there was like some drama around her because she didn't want to take the vaccine.
No, man. They probably wouldn't do CGI Black Panther. It would be so disrespectful.
Oh, that would be awful.
Almost everyone would hate them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But
it will happen in the future. Like you had Tupac on Coachella as a hologram.
Exactly, and remember Princess Leia with Carrie Fisher.
It's gonna happen, but I don't think they're gonna do it for Black Panther.
Hopefully not.
And yeah, if you're gonna use CGI to bring back a dead person, it really can't be for the entire movie.
Yeah.
You need voices, you need expressions. The technology's not there yet.
Not yet. But with the voices thing, you can just basically do it. There's not gonna be a problem. You can take recordings for them from history, from all the data you have, and make them say anything.
There actually is a way to do that. There's quite a good software that can recreate someone's voice.
Mm-hmm.
Like almost make it identical. So that's the most possible part. But
look at deep fakes.
The movements and such.
Look at deep fakes. I've done a few on my channel, and some of them work, some of them doesn't, and that's just what I use as the basic AI. Now, if you use a stronger AI, like something made by a programmer that knows what he's doing, you can technically recreate that and make him say anything you want. And that's a scary part.
It's really close to becoming a reality, like inching towards it.
Yeah, slowly. And it's quite terrifying.
Yeah, because you could like recreate someone's voice in someone's face and have them say whatever you want, and then boom, you get cancelled on Twitter.
Yeah. But I'm also thinking there will be companies that might just recreate a dead loved one for you to feel that mourning, that sadness, that thing. I think that's gonna be really fucked up.
Yeah. I mean, if you are going to hire a company to recreate a loved one you lost, you don't need that. You need a You need a
psychologist.
You need a doctor. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
That's my thoughts on that. You clearly didn't overcome that.
Okay, let's go to things that are a little bit more happy, because this is just depressing.
Yeah, we're basically talking about dystopian future that's 5 years away from us.
Yeah.
So go at it. What else can we
Here's an idea. How about we think about other Warcraft characters that are in the same position with like Bolivar, of not having to pay alimony? Who else managed that?
Well, let me think. Okay, Jesus.
Oh yeah, referring to the CGI thing.
Thrall. Is he referring to Thrall? I'm not sure.
No. You remember when we talked about the recreating a loved one that's
Oh,
dead?
yeah.
They need Jesus.
They need something, man, because it's way too creepy and dark to do to basically revive your loved ones as an AI.
Yeah. Ugh.
You know, there's one character in WoW that I would really love if they revisited. He's an orc, and he's a really, really cool orc. I'll give you 3 guesses.
Wait a minute. Varian? No, Varian did not run away from alimony. He got kidnapped.
He got killed, man.
Well, no. You have to remember before Wrath of the Lich King, when he comes back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he gets kidnapped and then.
I thought. Yeah. I thought after Legion and stuff.
So it's not like with Bolivar where he leaves out of his own will.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you were saying.
Kidnapping doesn't qualify.
No. Okay, so you were saying Orc 3 chances.
Yeah. I'll give you a hint. He kinda got help from Druid's demigod to fight the Legion.
Yeah, Broxigar.
Yeah, I mean, that was way too obvious.
I was thinking.
Wonder what happened.
I was thinking about Broxigar. You know, I was like, okay, he means a powerful orc, probably Broxigar. And then you go like, oh, well, druids, yeah, that's Broxigar. Like the druids gave it away.
I'm actually still not sure what happened to him. He's probably dead.
Yep.
But it's weird that we never see him again.
And yeah, he kind of is dead because he went to fight against Sargeras by himself, you know?
Yeah, and he harmed him with what's
the Axe of Cenarius.
Yeah.
And then the axe made it on the shore of Kalimdor. Don't know how. Yeah, sure, kidnapped. I mean, man, Varian got kidnapped. That's what happened. Blame Onyxia for that.
Yeah, he didn't really have an option to get out of the Colosseum he was stuck in.
Yeah.
And plus, he was under constant threat of being eaten by a giant tiger or something.
Yeah, I do vaguely remember that.
He was stuck in a gladiatorial Colosseum and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's where he gets the name like Loknash or something. Logos.
Yeah, he's a cool character. He's one of the Alliance characters that I genuinely do like, because I respect him for being a true warrior.
Oh yeah, he was very cool. But
I don't respect his son though.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they did with Anduin. I understand they wanted to make Anduin to be kinder than his father, but it really feels like they managed to make him a pushover. You know?
Yeah. I don't really see him as a threat or even a leader. So, like, with Varian, I was like half sure he could really screw me up if I fought him. And it's like, I'm thinking IRL me could probably beat up Anduin in one-on-one match. And that's not something you want for a leader of a faction.
That is true. But it's interesting how they try to... if you saw, when it comes to Anduin, they've tried to somehow make an angel and demon on his shoulders type of thing. With Gen, Grayman, and... what's his name again? The gay dude. Matya Shah.
The what?
Matya Shah. He's gay.
Damn, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yes.
With Flint Eastwood.
Actually, it's pretty cool. The SI7. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, they were cool in the beginning, but at some point they become like random infantry guys. You know, they just cut off by the dozens.
Yeah. Back in the day, they were actually like these spies and assassins.
Yeah, and that made them very cool, you know. But they just turned to regular footmen.
Do you remember Ravenholt?
Raven. The one with the rogues, right?
Yeah.
And
what
I think
happened to that?
the guys from Ravenhold became part of the Uncrowned in Legion, the Rogue Order Hall.
Oh, yeah, but they didn't use Ravenhold. They are in Dalaran, yeah, right?
Yep, they're in Dalaran.
Well, I really like that place. I wish that was the Rogue Order Hall.
It would have been interesting. Honestly, that would have been a good idea. But the it's kind of positioned awkwardly in a place where it made sense when the game was at that point. But now most of the other halls were kind of closer together and didn't make sense to put one at God's End.
You had Order Hall that are literally on another planet.
Technically on another planet. It's the same pocket
I mean,
dimension.
you had Demon. It's not pocket dimension. It's definitely another planet. Like Demon Hunters were floating above another planet in Mardum, the Shattered Abyss.
Yeah, they had that spaceship.
That's definitely not even close to Azeroth. I still can't get over the fact that Scarlet Crusade turned into Schizo's conspiracy theorist. Let me just say this. Having your entire family slaughtered and eaten by monsters tends to turn people into crazy schizos.
Indeed, but all I'm saying is the undead are turning the frogs gay. Okay? You can see the frogs being gay, and they're gay next to the Forsaken.
Yeah.
The Forsaken are to blame.
Scarlet Crusade was actually pretty cool. I still think they're cool because you had this order of zealots that will do anything to purge the scourge. They were like the prototype version of demon hunters.
Well, they came after Demon Hunters, but the interesting
No. I mean like prototype. You know how demon hunters, I will do anything to destroy the Legion.
Yep.
They were like, I will do anything to destroy the scourge. Do you understand?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I feel the Scarlet Crusade wasted potential. They really wasted a lot, and they've used them as random leveling dungeons. Even when
You could. Go ahead.
Even when the Scarlet Crusade was supposed to be a threat to the Forsaken, in their starting zone, it never felt like they were a threat to you. Yeah, you were more of a threat to them. Because they never had a grander plan or anything. They were just there, guarding this stupid tower that goes nowhere. You kill a bunch of them, you loot them, you go back, you go and destroy their leadership in another part.
What screwed up the Scarlet Crusade was the assault on Northrend, because they were led there and basically slaughtered.
No, what screwed them up was Balnazar taking the place of Saidan Dratrahan.
You mean in Stratholme?
I'm not. I'm not sure when that happened.
Scarlet Crusade. Their leader, was basically Dreadlord.
Yep.
And they were manipulated, and that's what led to their downfall, basically.
Yeah.
But large, massive part of Scarlet Crusade died in the fight with the Death Knights.
Yes. And also, they went to Northrend because the Dreadlords influenced Grand Crusader Abandis. The visions weren't from the light to go there.
And I think that was just revenge towards Arthas that sent them there. By the Dreadlords, not like their own.
Yeah,
the Dreadlords really got pissed that Arthas stopped listening to them.
Yeah, they really wanted to get revenge, but they didn't really have the best plan,
Yeah, they could have actually dealt a lot more damage had they actually had a solid plan.
Yeah, and then in Cataclysm, a good chunk of them turn into no Scarlet Scourge. The Scarlet Scourge is a guild, an RP guild. The Scarlet Risen or something like that. They're basically Forsakens in Scarlet garb,
Actually, cool. I never did. Oh my God! They just released on World of Warcraft Twitter. They just released a video showing the zones.
Oh, they released a video showing the zones.
Yeah, it's 5 minutes long.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to look at it at some point.
Yeah, we can talk about it later, but they actually look fairly impressive. The first zone that they're showing, it's like mix of ice and pine forests.
I think it's supposed to be like the Green Dragonflight town.
Not sure. Not sure. It's sort of like this zone. I would probably. Yeah, this looks really a lot like Green Dragonflight Zone. I see the huts of the. What's the name of those big humans? I forgot.
The ones they just came up with for this expansion. No, I don't remember.
No. The ones from Northrend, like the ones that humans came from.
The Vykrul.
Right, cool. Yeah, the huts look like right cool ones. This looks so much like Northrend, man.
Yeah. Now, the more I look at it, the more I'm getting some hope for it. You know.
Looks a lot like Grizzly Hills. Oh yeah. This is definitely Grizzly Hills. They just showed a model for those bear people. Well, there's like
The Furbolgs.
Thin version of the bear people from Grizzly Hills.
Oh no, I get it. But I think what you're referring to are the revamped gnolls.
In Battle for Azeroth, they make conspiracy theory pamphlets. Kalia's child is actually a daughter, not a son, and her husband was a lord around footman, not an Arathi nobleman. I mean,
here's the interesting part.
Yeah, propaganda.
The pamphlets thing isn't even something they are told about in game. It happens in the book either before the storm or Shadows Rising, where Mattia Shaw tells Anduin that the Scarlet Crusade is basically nothing and they're just throwing random pamphlets there. What he's saying there that Kalia's child is a daughter and she and the husband was Lord Van Footman, that is confirmed if I remember well.
Who's her son?
Daughter, she died at some point, and I think before the storm. Before the storm. Yeah, so, before the book, before the storm.
Okay, that's interesting piece of lore that I didn't know.
Yeah, I used to read their books when they were good.
It's quite niche lore. Good job on actually spotting that, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so yeah, who's your favorite World of Warcraft character overall?
Artis.
Okay, that I kind of expected that.
Duh.
I would actually say I like 3 characters share my first spot. One is Garrosh, other is Deathwing, and third is Arthas.
I understand Garrosh and Arthas. What's the deal with Deathwing?
Because he's a giant fire-breathing dragon.
So is Alexstrasza.
Yeah, but she's not cool.
True, I give you that one.
I mean, what else can I tell you? It's a giant dragon that's basically about to explode and stuff.
Yeah, he's spewing magma. He has armor to keep it inside of him. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Oh, sorry. What does he say? Let me just remember it. Let me send you a link. If you could, can you actually play a video on stream?
Yes, I'm gonna have to move some things around, but I can do that.
Okay, get ready to do that. I'm gonna send you something.
Let me start Microsoft Edge then.
Oh my god, it uses Microsoft Edge.
I use it for the streams and stuff. I keep my personal browser private, you know. Yeah, I use another browser that's clean.
I think my keyboard's dead or something. Hold on.
I'll wait. My favorite. WoW
You're
character.
gonna love this.
Okay, let me read this comment. Again, I'll find it funny. My favorite WoW character is the fruit basket.
The fruit basket?
The fruit basket.
Was that some kind of a joke that I don't get?
Yes, it is the joke because you remember they've changed a portrait or two in the Scarlet Monastery from a woman into fruits.
Yeah, that was an insane attempt at censorship. What the hell was that?
Yeah, it was after those stupid claims and stuff.
Oh yeah, did you also notice that like for example demon hunters, when you remove the armor they don't look like night elves or blood elves, they got like giant leather pants on them.
Yeah, that didn't make sense.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was actually like I was wondering why the hell would they do that? Doesn't make sense. Yeah, just weird censorship. Here's a video. It's like compilation of his voice lines, but it's really cool how the dude made them look. Just play it when you're ready.
Let me copy the link. No, I can't copy from this really. Okay. Gonna have to do a little bit of extra work here. Bam, copy the link. Let's put it in Edge now.
It's really cool. Also, I can show you the Algalon, the Observer, by the same dude. It sounds so cool, man.
He did the voice for the Observer. Interesting.
Yeah, he basically made it look cooler, like a speech or something.
Nice. Let's see. What was this? I think a window capture works. Go, not this. Picture in picture.
Is my voice like echoey or something?
A little bit right now.
I'm just trying to like listen to myself, and it sounds a bit weird.
Yeah, a little. Let me just stop this thing I had started. Of course, add.
Use ad blocker, man. I think my turtle is trying to escape.
Take care of it.
Less than dust, fit only to be brushed from my back. I had not realized you fools would
Did you play it?
Your efforts are insignificant. I carry you to your deaths. Cling while you can, heroes. You and your world are doomed. You will see what the research of my clutch has yielded. Nefarian, Onyxia, Sinestro, they were nothing. Now you face my ultimate creation. I am Deathwing, the destroyer, the end of all things. Inevitable, indomitable. I am the Cataclysm. There is no shelter from my fury. Your armor means nothing. Your faith, even less. The sea will swallow your smoldering remains. I shall tear this world apart. I shall show you a true cataclysm. Watch as your world comes to an end. The hour of twilight is nigh. The sun sets on your pitiful, mortal existence.
I get why you like it. And also the guy that made this thing put some pretty nice music on it.
I fucking love this video. Sorry.
It's okay. Let me just go back to our previous image. Remove. Yes. Okay. We're back to good old Garrosh now. Is the turtle fine? That's good. Okay, we're getting close to 2 hours. And I think that's good enough for today. What do you say?
Yeah, like I can just like 5 more minutes if you want. I have something to say, and that's about
Sure,
it.
sure, go ahead.
Like this dude makes so many good videos. Like Algalon, the Observer one is even better, and it's kind of sad because Algalon is like, I have seen millions, billions of lives burned, something like that. So that's how it sounds. But in the end, it ends up depressing because Algalon is basically dead. And this one is cool because he's just basically boasting how powerful and crazy he is, and like, I am Deathwing, the Destroyer, the end of all things. That's why I love him.
Yeah, he is the Cataclysm.
Yeah, dude's like, I am the Cataclysm.
Do you think we'll get
Yeah.
Cataclysm Classic? Do you think we'll get Cataclysm Classic?
Probably, yeah. Cataclysm is not a bad expansion. I will never understand people who say Cataclysm was bad. Cataclysm brought modernity in a way to World of Warcraft, and not the crazy levels of modernity, but like quality of life. You
Like Raid
got
Finder?
transmog. You got transmog. Yeah, Raid Finder was, but you got transmogs. You got stuff like that,
Yeah, I'm not
which
sure.
is really good.
I'm not sure if they bring it back, they'll keep it the same. Especially not with Raid Finder, after they remove Dungeon Finder for Classic. You know?
They're most likely won't be Raid Finder. Raid Finder was a terrible idea overall. Never should have added it.
Well, I disagree, but I think this is another interesting point. Because people that wanted Classic wanted the world that would happen that they could play in that was before the Cataclysm. If they do Cataclysm, you know, I don't think that many people would jump on it. As they would with
I
Rat.
doubt that Cataclysm was a good expansion.
Possibly.
Even lore was really well tied in because, like, since vanilla, you knew about the existence of Deathwing, about Black Dragonflight, about him eventually returning, about Terrazane, about the Deep Home. You knew everything, and just like one day, you have Deathwing appear. And even in Wrath of the Lich King, the last raid, I forgot the name.
Ruby Sanctum.
But yeah, Ruby Sanctum, you fight basically Twilight Dragonflight.
Yep.
Dragon.
There's like
Who is
one Twilight Dragon, and the other ones I think are the black.
and the Twilight Dragon, and he's the creation of Deathwing. And that was just like a sign, here comes Deathwing in the next expansion. Everyone knew instantly. That's why I kind of really like Deathwing. Lore tied up really well up until that point. Mists of Pandaria, not as much, but it was fine.
Mr. Pandaria was something new though. They really went outside what they already had created and they already knew into something different.
Pandaria was good in a way, but like people don't like pandas, but people loved Pandaria raids and Pandaria PvP, especially PvP.
If people don't like pandas, I just think we should build that wall and have them build a wall and pay for it.
They already built one. They already have one.
Yeah,
the Serpent Spine. But like the PvP in Pandaria was absolute peak of PvP ever in World of Warcraft.
I'll believe you on that when I started in at the end of Legion. Well, from
it's like
officially
the most balanced it's ever been. Every class could kill every class. There wasn't like one-shot mechanics. There was in a way, but you could play any class and do well. Although, if you get hit by a Destruction Warlock, you're probably gonna lose 1,000,000 health.
Yeah, that seems to never changed.
Yeah, but you also had glyphs, like Hunter could have Reflect on his deterrence skill. So like if you see the funny interaction was if you see Destruction warlock fire off a chaos ball. You just deflect it back at him, and he loses like 70% of his health. Okay, you
Nice.
got anything else to say, or
No, I think we exhausted the subjects. Well, we didn't really exhaust them. We touched on what I planned, we touched on other things that was nice, and that's all.
okay? Well, see you next time, and thanks for watching.
See you next time, and thanks for watching.
Yeah, see you.
See ya.